I greet this morning, I greet the rising sun, and I greet the inner and the outer peace. We are standing here in front of the stone of the astronome, the one who is looking to the stars and the one who knows about the stars. And for me, it was a very special morning to meditate with this archetype of the stone circle and with the question, what frequency is in this week and how can we be or make a difference? How can we end war and start peace? So it was a strong and powerful meditation. And when I came out of my house this morning, there was a strong power of the Venus, and looking to the Venus and really facing her and knowing how many centuries, billions of years she is shining to this planet, and believing that there is also a message that's not only to know definition of the stars, but what is the inner power of a star. I felt the frequency of love, and I felt it as a strong call. Human being, find the frequency of love in your heart. Discover it as a consciousness and adventure of the consciousness. Yeah, and when I meditate with the astronome, it's amazing that how much this archetype knows about the stars, knowing that I know that the stars always send a frequency to this planet. And if we learn to understand the consciousness of this eternal being, then we can be and live in resonance. We will find our guidance. And as a researcher of the stars, I know that there are indigenous people who never used a telescope or something like this, but they know about the stars. For example, the tribe of the Dogon in Africa, they knew about Sirius B long time before humanity discovered it with the telescope. Or some people of the Kogis visited some astronomic researchers of the Western world, and the people were so surprised how much they know or knew about the stars. So there is watching and looking and wisdom on one side, but there is also this from inside, knowing that in every being there is shining a consciousness to us. So, and when I notice that how long the stars are shining to this planet Earth, then I know that there existed many centuries where humanity were able to live in peace. And now, since centuries, we are not able anymore. And we, as a whole body, we are still following the matrix of war. And if I concentrate and pray for ending the war in the Ukraine, then I know it has to do something with the way how we live and think and act here. And I come so close to this adventure of the consciousness because I notice that I really believe that if we as a group live every day in this adventure, how can I really end war and begin peace, that this will have an impact to the whole. I focused this morning, for example, on to Putin, and I prayed that something will happen where we can read in the news, war in the Ukraine was stopped. But then we know it's not about Putin. Many people say, yes, if he would do this or that. No, it's the magic of humanity, that we still live in a kind of hierarchy, that we still think and act in a kind of hierarchy or in a not true democracy, and we don't want to face the reality of life. And if I go deep enough in the meditation, then I discover something in a freedom in our heart. And this is also the freedom in the cell system. In our cell system, there is something which follows the habit of war the habit of attacking and being a victim. But there, behind, there is the adventure of the consciousness where we can step out of war. And I think if enough people in their surrounding, not only as an individual being, no, this is not possible, as a group, will act in this way, it will make a difference. And so I invite all of us, let's take this week in a way that we come in contact with our own unconsciousness thinking and shine like a star consciousness into every little act in our way of acting and reacting, so that our life may make a difference, that we learn to inhabit this planet Earth. I send warm greetings to all peace workers, and I take the suffering of the Ukraine into my heart and really thinking about realistic answers. Ya Asim.